Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another vlog and another video. Basically, here's the latest on our situation of how we've been cut short, how how we had how, how we how we had had to how again, as you remember, how we had ended up having to be cut short with our Roseland stuff this past Saturday due to the storms and stuff, and how after doing just a couple after doing just a couple after doing just a after doing just a couple after doing just a couple after doing just a couple rounds after doing just a couple rounds in wave pool and stuff, how skies had literally opened up and stuff, remember? So here's the deal. Now, so right now, these may become trash. They may not. We may be we may be throwing these. We may be throwing these in the trash. We may not, because here's the thing. At least, at least, at least up, at least up until this point. At least up to this point. At least up to this point, we've had things in place and booked up for at least a little for at least a little while, with going to 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 Darien with going to Darien Lake a week from Friday, next Friday, for one other time. So here's the deal. Basically, they said, basically our people here, basically our people here said that if I wish to try to reschedule any kind of Roseland stuff, fine. But the bottom line is, the reality is, they can only approve. We're to the point though where we can all we can they can all they can all they can all they can only approve one or the other. So we're gonna have to kind of give things some thought throughout the week this week, maybe this upcoming weekend, and we try and make our decision by either this weekend or by early next week. Whether our final answer is we'll just follow through, whether our final answer is we'll just we'll just do this instead, we'll just do this, and we'll just do this instead over here, Roseland, or just follow through with Darien Lake and have these thrown in the trash and thrown out and brought and thrown in the dumpster, pretty much. You know, and the reason why we're to the point where we can only approve one or the other is because, not just because it's late in the season, it's near the end of the season, and slowly slowly easing slow, slowly slowly transitioning into slowly transitioning into slowly transitioning slowly transitioning slowly transit slowly transitioning slowly trans slowly trans sl- slowly transitioning into fall, more so right now, with every one of the things every one of the thing every one of the thing every one of the thing every one of the things, every every one of the things that every one of the things, every one of the things, every one of the things, every one of the things that we had done with one of our former people that had, for a while, worked overnights here at group home now, and then eventually transferred to another lifetime assistance LAI group home. You know, we've done quite a few things with her we've done quite a few things with her this season, which is kind of ultimately a good thing. The kind of cut short Roseland and Canandaigua stuff this past Saturday was one of them. You probably kind of heard her voice when we were in the van, you know, after the skies had opened up at Roseland this past Saturday. You know, we were just kind of talking about stuff, and she had kind of asked about stuff, you know. I just didn't really care to really get her on, to really get her on camera. Hearing her voice is one thing, but I just didn't really care to get her on camera. So here's the deal. We'll do a vlog probably later on in the week, or definitely early next week, what our final answer is on whether we'll just do Roseland instead next Friday. Roseland instead next Friday, or just follow through with our Darien Lake plans and just throw these right here in the trash. You know, as much as it's the last thing we want to do, we'll do what we have to do. They're still there for now. You know, I don't know if we'll plan on having them being used, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what our decision is end of the week, or this weekend, or early next week, or early next week. Another thing too, I know that 2019 NFL football season is right around the corner. They had quite a good number of NFL football preseason games on yesterday. Didn't really watch a lot of that, but you know, 2019 NFL football season is right around the corner. Just 3 weeks from yesterday. Yep, as far as I know, September 8th is, as far as I know, is when 2019 NFL football season starts. But anyway, so you know, so really, getting back to the reason why we got to kind of do one or the other, whether it's Roseland or just following through with Darien Lake and stuff for next Friday. The reason why they can only approve one or the other is because they're to the point where, not just because we're short, not just because we're short-handed staffing wise right now, but more so, all in all, we're already pretty well over the budget and stuff from everything we've done with one of our former people, that the one who had worked overnights here for quite a while and then transferred to another LAI lifetime assistance group home. So that's why they can only approve one or the other. So could have some chance, may be a little prone to be a little indecisive, but we'll try to have some people help us make up our mind and make our choice by either end of the week, or this weekend, or by early next week, or by early next week, or by early next week. So we will definitely give you an update on what our final decision, final answer is on that, either end of the week or this weekend or by early next week, or by early next by by early next by early next by early by early by early by early next week and stuff. By early by early next by early next week, yeah, for sure. By early next week, we'll give you an update on that. So yeah. So unfortunately for this year, well, I'm not gonna put it like that. Unfortunately for this situation, there's not quite enough budget for both. There's only enough to do one or the other. There's only enough for them to approve one or the other. So, pretty much, you know, long story short, either we'll decide to just do Roseland instead of do Roseland instead for next Friday, or we'll just suck it up and just or we'll just suck it up, or we'll just suck it up and just we'll just suck it up. We'll just suck it up and throw these in the trash and follow through with Darien Lake. Right now, it's up in the air, but we'll make our decision end of the week, this weekend, or by early next week, around this time, hopefully. But yeah, again, not just because it's late in the season and it's near the end of the season, getting close to transitioning into and easing into fall, but just that the fact that it's now late in the season, near the end of the season, and everything we've done, this season, and we're already pretty well over the 2019 budget with stuff based on from one-on-one kind of style stuff we've done with one of our people that, again, the one who had for a while worked overnights here for quite a while, and then eventually in due time transferred to another LAI Lifetime Assistance group home. Still with LAI, still with Lifetime Assistance, still with the agency, just at another house in another group home now. So again, that's why they can only approve one or the other. So we'll just think on it throughout the week and even this weekend, and make our decision by either end of the week this weekend or by early next week, or by early next week, or early next week, early next week, early next week, early next week, early next week this time. Early next week this time. I also even did put a little note out on my Facebook page for a good bit of people on my Facebook friend list to some point see, and then maybe get some of their suggestions from them too. Get some of their suggestions and some of their advice too. So see what happens with that. So weather's not too bad out today, but again, I think it's still warm and muggy and humid for a couple more days. So, I don't know how much space I got left on tablet, but we'll take a quick look outside. Still feels quite muggy. The breeze is actually picking up a little bit. Don't mind hearing the sound of one of our garbage trucks right here, right now. They're right out front doing one of their routine trash pickups right now. So don't mind hearing a little bit of the banging. Don't mind hearing a little bit of the banging of that. Just ignore that. Don't let the banging of that bother you. They're just here doing their routine trash pickup and stuff. We had suburban disposal for a while. Now we mainly right now have waste management coming and doing it all. So, yeah, but I just wanted to kind of open up the window and show you, well, the breeze looked like it was kind of picking up a little bit. Not too bad right now, but the breeze was kind of picking up a little bit. Sky's not looking too bad right now. I don't think there was too much in the way of any really rough weather. Nothing nearly as bad as the other day, a couple of days ago, this past Saturday was. We'll see what happens as the day goes on. All right, I think I'm gonna end the vlog. I think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna. I think. I think I'm. I think I'm gonna end the vlog there. We may see you later and talk to you later. Not enjoy the rest of your day. Maybe we'll see you later. Talk to you later.